I quickly want to cut across to India Today's consultant editor, Rajdeep Sardesai, for more on what Rahul Gandhi said and its impact. Rajdeep, you've covered Parliament for 30 years. This was Rahul Gandhi's debut speech as leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. Out of 10, how many marks would you give him and what do you make of what he said?
I'm not going to give any marks at the moment, Gaurav, because I don't think you need to mark a speech of this kind because that can lead to all kinds of interpretations. What I will say is the strength and weaknesses of the speech. I think the strengths, Gaurav, of the speech were, the fact is Rahul Gandhi came out all guns blazing. And that's exactly what you expect from a leader of opposition in his debut speech. Take the battle into the Treasury benches camp and thereby galvanize your own flock. He showed himself to be what I think is his strength, that he is spontaneous and fearless. He is not unafraid and forced Narendra Modi to actually get up and his ministers to get up and rebut him, which is exactly what you want. You want them to get under their skin. I think that's the strength. The weakness, I think, is that when it comes to specific points, I think Rahul Gandhi sometimes in his speech, because they are so raw, lacks the maturity and the specificity that you need when you're raising critical points, like the Agniveer issue, which you know better than most. Rahul Gandhi seemed to suggest that if you are an Agniveer who dies in the line of duty, you get no compensation, which is not true. You have to be very clear on your facts, and Rajnath Singh picked him up on that by explaining what the facts were. However, when I see Rahul Gandhi, I get a sense that here is someone who's decided at the moment that the way to challenge this government is to confront them head on every issue. We will worry about specific facts later. For now, the impact that the style of speaking has is such that it galvanizes the opposition.
Okay, I'll come to Agniveer in just a moment, but I want to stay on the issue that has the BJP really up in arms. Okay, so as a leader of opposition, he gets under the government's skin. That was very apparent today. The Prime Minister reacted, Defence Minister reacted, Home Minister reacted, Parliamentary Affairs Minister reacted, Agriculture Minister reacted on multiple issues. But on that aspect where the Prime Minister stood up to say, on the aspect of Hindus and violence, what do you make of that comment of Rahul Gandhi?
Look, the moment you get into religion, you are entering a dangerous terrain. But let's be clear, that's being what Rahul Gandhi said is being twisted. He was very clear. He made a distinction between Hindus and so-called Hindus. He dubbed the BJP, Prime Minister Modi and others as people who are misusing religion or misusing Hinduism. You could see when he took out that photograph of Shiva, spoke about Hinduism, he wasn't branding Hindus as violence. He said there are so-called Hindus who are using Hinduism and therefore are spreading hatred and violence in the name of Hinduism.
No, so I think words to the effect, जो लोग अपने आप को हिंदू कहते हैं, 24 घंटे Hinsa, hinsa, hinsa.
Yes, but that's only, again, you're using only a piece of it. He did clarify very clearly later that he was making a distinction. He made a distinction between so-called Hindus. He used that word, so-called Hindus. जो अपने आप को हिंदू का, I think he said that Hindu का एक तरह से गैर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, effectively saying that. I think we have to make that distinction. Look, Gaurav, I think when you get into religion in Parliament, you are entering a dangerous terrain because it's a pitch the BJP has always preferred to play on. That's why you saw the Prime Minister respond, Amit Shah respond. However, I do believe, as I told you at the outset, I think Rahul Gandhi was using this speech to get under the skin of the BJP by raking up what are seen as issues which he believes expose the BJP's commitment to actually peace and non-violence, and making a distinction between Hinduism and Hindutva. Now, it is, as I said, dangerous terrain to enter because it's a pitch the BJP has preferred to always play on.
But this is a pitch where Rahul Gandhi is increasingly, batting on, and he's hitting the BJP perhaps where it hurts when he says, you talk about Hinduism, you talk about you talk about Ayodhya, and that's where the BJP lost.
Very interestingly, Gaurav, you'll recall that in January, when the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha was held, the Congress chose not to attend the function, and there was a lot of criticism over that. Many believe that the Congress at that time had taken a stand which would be interpreted as anti-Hindu. Eventually, in Faizabad itself, the opposition Congress SP won that election. I think what Rahul Gandhi is trying to bring is a certain ideological clarity to his own congressmen, who in the past have been a little uncomfortable with taking on the BJP when it comes to religious politics. But I do believe that Rahul Gandhi will then have to articulate his own vision of Hinduism more clearly. You then, when you're coming to Parliament, you're making such a speech, you also need to articulate your vision of Hinduism as contrasted to what you believe is the BJP's vision of Hinduism much more clearly. Otherwise, it will be open to misinterpretation.
Or the fact that JP Nadda, leader of the BJP in Rajya Sabha and BJP President JP Nadda said that Rahul Gandhi is intrinsically anti-Hindu. He told foreign diplomats that Hindus are terrorists. So the BJP will join that statement of Rahul Gandhi, according to the US embassy cables. And the statement कि जो लोग अपने आप को हिंदू कहते हैं 24 घंटे हिंसा 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 असत्य सत्य असत्य नफरत नफरत नफरत.
I think
is that leaving Rahul Gandhi in a troubled spot?
I don't think it is. Gaurav, I think this 2024 election has shown the limits of using or misusing religion in politics. You can have different interpretations of Hinduism, of Hindutva. The moment you bring it into the electoral realm, I think it is subject now increasingly to diminishing returns. People want to talk on Rozgar. People want to talk on NEET. People want to talk on Agniveer. People want you to debate the real issues of our times, whether that's Mehngai, whether that's social justice. Those are the issues people want a debate on. I think when Rahul Gandhi takes up this issue of Hinduism, Hindutva, he may be trying, as I said, to give himself a distinction from where the BJP stands on this issue. It's not going to get him extra votes. It's not going to get the BJP extra votes. The real extra votes now are coming on who has a social and economic agenda for change in this country.
And that's where when he raises Agniveer, he may be incorrect or wrong on facts, but those who are against the Agniveer scheme, especially in poll-bound states in Haryana, that's where Rahul Gandhi may just have hit jackpot.
Look, Gaurav, you probably know much more than any of us on the Agniveer scheme, its strengths and its weaknesses. The general sense one got while traveling and covering the election is that Agniveer has not caught the imagination of the youth. The youth feel they are being shortchanged under the Agniveer scheme, particularly those who are aspiring to have a career in the army. So I think the government itself is going to have to review this scheme at some stage.
It is under review.
It's under review. So at some stage, I think what Rahul Gandhi, we can dispute the facts. Did he get his facts wrong on Agniveer? But broadly, Agniveer is one area, Gaurav, where generally the feeling was in this election, the youth of this country do not believe that this is the kind of scheme they want if they wish to enter the armed forces.
So that's why even though he may have been wrong on facts, he's hit jackpot on Agniveer.
And I think that's really what the speech was. This speech was about scoring a political point at the very outset of the 18th Lok Sabha. I'm unafraid. I'm fearless. I'm going to take you on these issues. I'm going to force you to have a review on these issues, whether it's NEET or Agniveer. Until now, the government has had a free run for the last decade in Parliament. I think today's speech suggests that Rahul Gandhi is sending out a message, including to his own benches. Look, we have the numbers also. Let's take on the government on every issue. It may lead to a more confrontational Parliament, but I hope over time it also enhances the democratic spirit of Parliament.
Okay, so we've seen Rahul Gandhi's batting today. We'll see the Prime Minister's batting tomorrow at 4. We'll have Rajdeep back on the show to talk more about this. But for the moment, Rajdeep, many thanks for joining me.